Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of day it may be for you while you're watching this. This is the Homestead in Town. My name is Caitlin. I live in Zone 8B in East Central Texas, and I want to talk about how I'm a failure. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, then also welcome back. May means that spring is just about over. I realize that the summer solstice doesn't come for a couple of weeks at the very least, but that doesn't mean that summer isn't here. We frequently get 80, 90, sometimes triple digit weather here in East Central Texas, and that feels like summer to me, which means that my plants probably also think so. This year, I miserably failed at my spring garden. In fact, I'm lucky to have anything have survived at all. I put my seeds in ground about mid-March, which for Texas, that's pretty common, but the heat just cooked them to death. I am lucky that anything survived. I put my Brussels sprouts in late, I put my asparagus too deep, I put my broccoli in also too late, and everything just didn't grow. My spring plants have been stunted or just shriveled up, and unfortunately that is a factor when you're gardening. In fact, we all need to learn this important lesson. When you're dealing with life and death, which gardening is dealing with life and death, you're going to deal with death. Things are going to die, and unfortunately there's just something you can't do about it. So what am I going to do about this? When it comes to the weather, a lot of that is out of my control. But what's in my control is I can definitely get better at watering, something I'm still learning to do. My garden is organic, so I don't add any unnatural or synthetic fertilizers or additives. But I am working on composting. I am working on natural fertilizers with banana peels and coffee grounds. I'm also working on getting better at harvesting more regularly. The carrots should be coming out soon. I've been harvesting green beans, which those are part of the summer garden, but the early summer nonetheless. I've also been getting better about harvesting our greens. Weeding has been another problem for me. I have 2 small children, and unfortunately their needs do come first before everything else, including my own, and especially the garden. So coming out to weed whenever I feel like it just isn't a possibility. My poor 3 sisters bed and my pepper bed have unfortunately taken the worst of the brunt, and the tomato bed. Actually, you know what? Everything besides the potatoes is just overrun with weeds. And I have been a very bad gardener and not taking care of it when I have the opportunity. But life is like a garden. It gets overrun with weeds, we get overwhelmed, and things just take over, especially when we don't want them to and when we're at our lowest. So that means we have 2 options. Do we let the weeds take over, wash our hands of everything and just quit? Or do we, as my husband says, continue mission? Yeah, it sucks that the weeds took over. Yeah, I'm probably not the best at this, but I can't get better if I don't keep trying. So I'm gonna pull out the dead spring garden because at this point spring is done. I'm gonna put new beans in. I'm gonna get all the weeds out, even if it means 30 minutes a day, because eventually it will add up and we'll be able to see the fruits of our labors. Definitely not right away. I have no desire to hurry up the process though. So what do I have growing in my summer garden this year? Well, the peppers are still in the ground. I've recently planted 6 new varieties, including a chocolate habanero, a ají lemon, the Carolina Reaper, and a Jay's Peach Reaper. So we've got that started. My cosmos are starting to come up, which is so surprising. I didn't think those would. My lysanthias are starting to bloom, but I think this is going to be their creep year. Next year will probably be their leap year because they are a little bit on the small side. My gladioluses got just absolutely butchered by the weed eater on accident, so I'm a little worried they're not going to come up at all. My small win of the late spring, early summer garden is my pear tomato. By every standard, that thing has held together by thoughts and prayers despite it being severely neglected. I've got cucamelon that recently went in the ground, which is super exciting. And my blueberry plants are still alive, which is a miracle all on its own because they look a little on the dead side. I've decided that next year I am not going to do Kentucky pole beans for my pole bean. I'm probably going to do rattlesnake or yard long because I don't think I like the flavor as much as I do the contender beans. We are definitely going to do contender beans next year. Contender green beans are delicious. I think I do want to do the Carota carrot this year. This year we did the Scarlet Nantis, which is fine, but I think the Carota will do better in our environment with it being so hot. I also need to remember to thin them out next year because I did not thin out my carrots this year. We're just gonna see what happens. A lot of them are coming up a little bit on the skinny side, which is fine. I mean, we can still make carrot top pesto and all kinds of other goodies with the tops, which is great. Next year, I want to start my spring garden with some Boston pickling cucumbers because I think they're not doing so hot as well, at least not as well as they should this year. With the heat, they're looking a little bit on the unhappy side with me. I'm also going to start my spring garden, I think in February. If it continues to get this warm this early in the season, I want to get a better head start on spring. Collards did great for spring. I don't know how. My peas are, I don't think they're gonna, oh wait, you know what, I lied. I found a pea. Holy cow, we've done it. We've grown peas this year. I'll be posting that short of finding the peas later, but for now, you just get to hear my voice. Other projects we have due for the summer are getting in more huckleberries. We unfortunately ran over our huckleberries with the lawnmower, so we're just gonna pretend they never happened and start over. There's nothing wrong with that. My mulberries are taking off this year, which is great. I'm so excited about my mulberries because they have great flavor and I know my kids are gonna love them. The raspberries are sticks in the ground, but that doesn't mean much right now. We'll see if next year they decide to actually take off. I don't know if they are primo or whatever the second variety is. I'll have to research that. There are two types of raspberries. One type is first year fruiting and then the other is second year fruiting. My goal is to eventually sell raspberry canes. Something did chomp on my poor Carolina Reapers. That's okay, they're still alive. And I've got other peppers coming up. My goal is to make green sauce, as my family calls it. It is delicious. It's cilantro and serrano peppers. Love it. I'm also going to make fermented hot sauce this year. Something that I've never done before, but anything fermented is good for your stomach, is good for your gut, is good for your overall health. And I love hot sauce. I don't know if I've ever explained that before, but hot sauce is one of my favorite things. I put it on everything. A new one that I'm excited to try making is a chimichurri hot sauce. I'll get back to y'all on that, whether or not that's any good at all. I'm also working on perfecting my sourdough sandwich bread in a Pullman loaf tin. I've got the artisanal done, so I figured out that I don't suck at making that, which is a win for me because this time last year I was barely making bread. I was terrified of starter. It is a scary idea to make your own bread from scratch because it's something we don't learn anymore. There are so many skills that we just don't learn anymore and have it done for us. So when you go to the grocery store, you buy bread. When instead of making applesauce, we buy it in the little cups and it's great. No one really understands that preservatives are what's bad for us, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole point of this garden. It's not to save me money, I'll tell you that. Gardening does not save you money, not the first year at least. And anybody that says gardening saves you money is a danged liar. But I did not spend at the grocery store this week. There were products that I used to buy that I don't. So yes, I saved money at the grocery store. No, I did not save money in general. Building a garden, even if you cut corners or find the cheapest materials, will still cost you money in the end, because seeds cost money. But I would much rather spend $3 on a package of bean seeds than $1 on an 8-ounce can of beans. I'd much rather spend $2 on a package of San Marzano tomato seeds or a single tomato plant than spend the same amount of money on a tinned can of tomato paste. So with the spring garden wrapping up, I'm gonna wrap up this video as well. What I've learned is water your garden. Please water your garden. Pick your weeds. And I hope you learned something as well. Leave in the comments your personal garden or homestead failures, or just failures that you're willing to share, because failures are what make us better as people. If you have anything you're excited to grow in the summer or fall or even next spring, leave that in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week.